Tekken 8. It's currently sitting at a 90 overall Metacritic, and that means most people like the game, but not everyone does. So welcome back to another edition of Bad Reviews for Good Games, and today we're taking a look at what the haters have to say about Tekken 8. So our first negative review comes from New Soul, who gives Tekken 8 a 1 out of 10. He goes on to say he dislikes the game for... I can't read that. So what I went and did is go ahead and hopped on that Google Translate, and let's see, we got some Russian here. Shout out to my Russian viewers. He goes on to say, imbalanced piece of shit. One combo and you have no face. Some kind of clown simulator. In the lobby, there is a cabinet of curiosities and no one else is doing anything except for juggling. First and foremost, I want to know, is anybody in the comment section, is this an accurate translation? What does he mean by there's a cabinet of curiosities? You lost me on that. Anyways, other than that, on this review, he mainly gave it a 1 out of 10 because he fucking sucks. And the main giveaways at the end when he says, nobody else is doing anything else but juggling in Tekken 8. Bro, this is the 8th iteration, at least in the mainline game. This isn't even the 8th game because, I mean, you got the mobile versions of the game. You also got like Tekken Tag. There was multiple of those. There's like a bunch of different spin-offs. There was, what was it, Street Fighter versus Tekken, that one crossover. And then we never got Tekken versus Street Fighter. I don't remember which one it was we never got, but we never got that game. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyways, yeah, the point is, there's like a million different Tekken games at this point. At this point, you should know Tekken is all about learning what your launches are for your character and then learning how to maximize the damage once you have your opponent in the game. And it's also about not only learning what your setups are for launching somebody in the air for a big combo, but also showing restraint, because anybody who plays Tekken knows your ass is looking for that big ass combo. So it's also about showing restraint and not leaving yourself open and doing it too much to where you become predictable. Long story short, the gist of what I'm getting from this review is, and this is coming from somebody who, like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm like an average Tekken player at best. I don't consider myself good. You fucking suck. It is what it is, dog. You're complaining people are juggling you in Tekken? Next, you're gonna get mad people are shooting you in Call of Duty. Get the fuck out of here, bro. So our next negative review comes from Casadara, who gives Tekken 8 a 0 out of 10. That's a crazy score. They go on to say, with almost no depth or complexity, Tekken 8 quickly devolves into button mashing. If you're a serious fighting game player, avoid this one. So, once again, I think we found another scrub who's getting butthurt because they're getting their ass beat online and ranked, or it was casual matches. Somebody faded you. You was probably one of those people that got put into a suplex combo by King and didn't know how to get out of it, and now you're on the internet bitching. To call Tekken a button masher? No, you're button mashing. Look at this shit, bro. This came out like right before the game had came out. I remember I had quote tweeted this, and this is just Jin's buttons, okay? I know Reina's buttons are fucking insane. Her shit is like a mile long. Matter of fact, everybody's thing is like a mile long, and this is supposed to be like a quick guide to help teach you learn how to play the game. Look at all these goddamn buttons. And you're talking about it's a button masher? You know, I'm a Street Fighter guy. I've always grown up. I'm gonna take that back. Soul Calibur is my favorite. Street Fighter, of the big three, Street Fighter is my favorite. Tekken would be my second favorite of the big three because Mortal Kombat 1, they fucked it up. What I will say about Mortal Kombat that I don't like Mortal Kombat 1. I apologize. I swear I don't like Mortal Kombat. I was about to say, what I always liked about Tekken is the freedom and the creativity in the combos. Like, that's one thing that I'll always give it. I feel like with Street Fighter, once there becomes like a meta, like it kind of is what it is and everybody plays the same. But one thing I can say I appreciate about Tekken is, like, a lot of times you'll go against, you can play ranked and you'll go against two different gens and they play completely different. And that's because this game does allow a lot of freedom in terms of how you express yourself in the fights. Like, even the other day I was watching a stream and I was watching a friend play ranked and they went up against a Steve Fox, and I play Steve Fox, and he was doing some combos that I don't do. And I was like, oh, I didn't think to string that and that together. I was like, that's fire. Like, to me, that's the fun of not only playing, but watching Tekken. So for you to call it a button masher, I'm not gonna lie, you just fucking suck at the game, because this game allows a lot of freedom of expression. Words are hard. It allows a lot of freedom of expression, and I think that's why people are loving Tekken 8. So respectfully, I gotta disagree. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, this might be the easiest edition of bad reviews for good games that I've ever done, because this is the first time I think I've ever scrolled and got 3 reviews in a row worth highlighting. 1, 2, yeah, the third one, this is an easy video. It comes from Metatron1342, and they give Tekken 8 a 0 out of 10. Reason being, they're saying it's an uninspired rehash of the previous games. It's the 8th game in the franchise, so it's gonna be or iteration, not a revolution. Then they go on to say the combat is dull. I've seen some really cool combos, just stop. But here's the part that really killed me, man. The game is slow and repetitive. Slow, repetitive, and shallow. My bad, I'm tired. Slow. There's no, like, like this guy. About to make me, you people about to, this is why it's important to read the reviews. This shit like made my brain hurt. It's slow and repetitive. First of all, every video game is repetitive. It's just up to you to decide whether or not that repetition is fun enough for you to continue. So like that argument's completely pointless. But the slow part is the crazy part of the review, and that's why I wanted to bring this up. To call Tekken 8 slow says to me that you did not play the game. You're either a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter fan. Probably not. You probably play one of them damn anime fighters nobody cares about, like Underbirth, whatever that shit is. I don't know. One of them games that be in the corner during Evo. Anyway. Those games are good. Let me stop. But you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because like there's no way you play Tekken 8 and then you call it slow. The entire gameplay loop around Tekken 8 involves the pacing of the game. That's actually what I like about it. With the new mechanics, the heat mechanic, it speeds up the game and it rewards people for being aggressive by giving you chip damage, bonus damage when you want to like you can complete a combo with the heat smash or whatever. Like I don't think you played the game, because this game is fast as fuck. Matter of fact, this game is so fast, like when you play it, you can't even get upset. There will be rounds where like I'll perfect somebody, right? And then the very next round they'll come back and perfect me. It's such a momentum based game. It's insane to call it slow. You could say you don't like it. That's never gonna make me mad because it's all subjective on that point. But to call the game slow, you did not play the game. I think you play one of them anime fighters in the corner at Evo. That's what I think. And you also need to take a shower, all you people at the FGC. $200 ticket to Evo. What's that about, y'all? Y'all fuck with that price? Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think it's worth paying $200 to go to Evo and smell somebody who hasn't bathed all week because they're sweating on the game? Let me know in the comment section below. Off topic, but I don't give a fuck. Once again, we're just gonna scroll on down to the easiest video that I've ever done, and we're gonna get our fourth review, where Mogmog000 gave Tekken 8 a 3 out of 10. The reason they gave it a 3 out of 10 is they said it's too few new characters. It's a 32-man roster. I think there's 3-4 new characters. They're gonna add more. It's like a balancing thing. Like it's kind of tricky because it's like you can't add too many new characters, because then people will complain there's not enough of the veterans. And then also it's like a balancing thing. You have to keep in mind whenever you introduce something new, you have to figure out how it counters and balances against the other 30 plus people on the goddamn roster. I feel like there's enough new characters. The roster is huge. It's 32 people, okay? And then on top of that, not only is the roster 32 people, it's a lot of returning people, but like a lot of people got new moves, new kits. So it's like, I know I play Steve. I know he's got like a whole new stance. Like so it feels like a new character. I don't know. But the main reason I wanted to highlight this is he gave it a 3 out of 10 because he said there's no Hahachi in the game. This is fucking funny for multiple reasons. And this goes back to what the fuck I be saying when I say you have to read these reviews. All right, this point, and I'm gonna get off this point. I'm gonna get off this review after this. This point right here where he says there's no Hahachi is the reason he gave it a 3 out of 10. It's funny for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, nigga, your first sentence in the review, you said there's too few new characters. Then you go on to proceed to complain about the fact that they didn't bring back an old character. In the first sentence, you contradicted yourself. Reason number 2, you're crying about there's no Hahachi. I get it, classic character. But the nigga died. Why are you surprised that he's not in Tekken 8? He died. Well, I couldn't believe I come back and fucking go, man. Get the fuck off my screen. Gamer Dave 234 gave Tekken 8 a 0 out of 10, and he goes on to say this is a shallow, lackluster fighting game with little to no depth or complexity. Strongly disagree. It fails to impress in any regard. I completely disagree, and let me tell you why. That's a bold statement. Fails to impress in any regard. So you don't think it's impressive that they included the new Super Ghost Battle mode? The mode where it basically is recording all of your gameplay when you go online, and then you can look back at it and it'll tell you what you did wrong and how you can improve. You can literally replay one of your online matches, and when you get hit in the face, the game will pause and tell you, you should have did this. I mean, not hit in the face. You could block, and then it'll tell you what specific string you could have did to counter them. That is innovation, and it should be praised. That's not in any other fighting game. These are tools that are being implemented that can be used to help usher in a new audience, more casuals, and help grow the FGC and the fighting game community. So to say that it fails to impress in any regard, once again, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's Mortal Kombat or like Street Fighter fanboys. I don't feel like this is it, or if it's just like AI bots writing these reviews. Y'all motherfuckers did not play this game, because there's some innovative shit in here. And this is not, don't get me wrong, because like I have some issues with Tekken 8, but to say it fails to impress in any regard, the tools alone that they implemented into this game to help the player become a better player is innovative. It should be praised, and I'm gonna be honest, I want to see it, and Street Fighter needs to take that shit. And then he goes on to say the story feels like it was written by AI. The campaign's like 3-4 hours. It's a shonen anime. It's supposed to be cheesy, and not only is it cheesy, it's a self-aware cheese. It sounds like to me you just took it way too seriously and didn't understand what it was supposed to be. The online feels like 2009. I completely disagree. If you want to go back to 2009, if we had a time machine, be like, what the fuck? It wasn't in 2009. Wasn't that around the time that like EA was doing yeah, I remember at the point, there was a point during like the 360 era and the PS3 era where EA was putting passes inside of their games so you basically couldn't buy it secondhand. Like each game that had online on it, it came with a pass inside of the box. And then you had to put in the code that tied to your account. And then if you sold that game to a friend, they couldn't play the online because they didn't have the code. That was back in 2009. So now obviously he's talking more so about how the online plays, but I still think Street Fighter 6 is the gold standard compared to Tekken 8. But I'll say Tekken 8 it's suitable. The online, I don't think it feels like 2009, because the reality is like if I played like 10 matches, I would say like 7 of them are good. 6, 7 of them are good for Tekken 8. I just completely disagree with you, Dave. I don't think you know what you're talking about, and that's okay, because we're here to roast you. We got you. Rhinestone CB gives Tekken 8 a 1 out of 10, and he goes on to say, Tekken 8 is a predictable follow-up to a series that's never aimed particularly high. It may please casual gamers for a day or two, but the stagnant, ongoing series is definitely in the second tier of fighters, way below Capcom or NetherRealm Studios games. And he goes on to write a whole novel, but I'm not gonna lie, I stopped reading after that part because you lost me right there. Now, I would still put Street Fighter 6 above Tekken 8. If you want to argue for Tekken 8 being above it, I'm gonna respect your decision. But me personally, I still would put Street Fighter 6 above Tekken 8 just because the netcode in Street Fighter 6 is just mwah. But even still, like I would put, of the big three, I would put Tekken 8 in second place, and it's like a close second. It's not like, I wouldn't put it way below like he's saying. And then what makes this review funny is he said it's way below NetherRealm. NetherRealm? You talking about Mortal Kombat 1? The game that launched with no private lobbies? And then when I brought it up on Twitter and I said it was an incomplete package that was boring, I mean, the core gameplay was cool, but like it was just missing all the other features. The same community that got on Twitter and bitched and complained and said I didn't know what I was talking about. There are private lobbies. It's called King of the Hill, even though King of the Hill is not it's a private lobby, but you have to keep winning. When I say private lobbies, I'm talking about being able to invite your friends and just practice. Like it's not a fucking contest, not King of the Hill. That's called King of the Hill. You're saying Tekken 8 is way below that game? The one that's charging like $10 for like new fatalities and shit? I don't think you play Tekken, bro. Shut up. Just fucking shut up. Moving over to the PC version of Tekken 8, I went onto the Steam website and checked out some of the negative reviews, and here's some funny stuff I found. We got one from Gon Vieira, who doesn't recommend Tekken 8, and the reason being is they said, Tekken 8? Ha! More like fatal error 8 times a day. That's so fucking funny. Listen, the reality is that you have 50 hours on the game, so clearly you aren't getting 8 fatal errors a day. Somebody's capping. Fresh Potato doesn't recommend Tekken 8. He says the reason it sucks is because it's not recommended for new players. So you suck. You're upset you got your head smashed in. Nuclear Toaster doesn't recommend Tekken 8, and the reason being is Reina. I'm gonna be honest, I completely understand this review. I mean, this chick be flipping and dipping all over the goddamn place. I fucking hate fighting them too. I know this review is cap. He just trolling because he got 93 hours on the game. You're clearly enjoying the game, but I get why you left this review. She's fucking annoying to fight against. Fuck all you men that play Reina. Dusk has 80 hours on Tekken 8, but he doesn't recommend the game, and the reason being is Devil Jin. And I'm gonna have to say, I completely understand your review. Fuck you, Devil Jin mains too. Y'all all pussy. Pussy. Fucking hate that laser, man. Heyman97 did not recommend Tekken 8, and the reason being, as he said in his review, there's no point in playing this game if you're on a fat, sweaty nerd who didn't play Tekken 7. And to that, I say, I understand your frustration. It can be hard to go online and play against randoms. A lot of these people are trying to make it out their mama's basement. They're preparing for locals. They're preparing for Evo. They're trying to get the big pot. So yeah, this game unfortunately has a lot of sweats on it like any other fighting game. But the solution is you don't have to play ranked. You don't have to play these casual matches. You could just play with your friends. If you don't have any friends, then it's time to have a conversation with yourself. It's time to look really hard in the mirror and ask yourself, why don't I have any friends? Why? These days, it's no excuse. I mean, you could just join a Discord. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a Tekken 8 official Discord. Go in there and say, hey, who wants to play? Who wants to run some casual sets? Who wants to teach me how to get better in the game? I'm sure you're going to be able to find somebody. But hopping online, calling everybody fat, sweaty nerds just because you're not good at the game, it's just not nice. And remember, kids, be nice on the internet. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And then you can put like a sign on there. The Black Hokage. Juicy Pork Chop doesn't recommend Tekken 8. The reason being, crashing issue. Trash, trash, trash. Prague the Lifter doesn't recommend Tekken 8. And the reason being is he says, juggling's still a thing. Why even bother having the HP bar in the first place? All online fights are decided in 2 hits. Well, let's get something straight. A, you got your ass beat. 2, you can get hit by 2 hits, okay? You just acknowledge you got juggled. It wasn't 2 hits. It was probably like 10. You just sound like you fucking suck, bro. And you know what's funny too? He has 36 hours on the game, so he was getting his ass beat a lot before he left this review, right? And then it's funny, if you scroll down into the comments, it says, sounds like a skill issue. Combos feel good to pull off. Juggling's the best part of Tekken. I don't understand, like, do you guys buy Forza and then complain you're racing? Do you buy Tony Hawk? I don't know why I said Tony Hawk, there's been a new one, but let's act like there has been. Do you buy Tony Hawk and then complain they're skateboarding? I don't understand the thinking process behind being upset that people are juggling you in Tekken. Why would that change? It's the 8th iteration. It's what people love about it. You don't get to the 8th one in the franchise by accident. It means they like the last 7. So there's certain aspects of the game that you have to keep in. If they took the juggling out, people would fucking riot. Also, what would make it different from other fighters? That's what makes Tekken, okay? Just refund the game. You suck, dog. Cool Tepes doesn't recommend Tekken 8, and the reason being is he says that they need to delete King or nerf King somehow. And once again, we have another person exposing themselves. They fucking suck at the game. You only have 11 hours on the game. You probably got put into a throw string by King, and then you're bitching and complaining on the internet about it. But let me give you a little tip, man. A good portion of his moves, you can block the grabs. If you're on PlayStation, it's square and X. So then Xbox, it would be X and A. Just press those buttons at the right time at the same time and you'll like block the throw. And there's even moments in his strings where like, if you hit the button, like let's say he gets the first throw off, if you hit the button at the right time, you can get out of the grab. You fucking suck at the game. And then the other crazy part is like, you know King's gonna grab you, like just punch him. And our next negative review comes from that one guy who goes on to say he doesn't recommend Tekken 8. And the reason being is there's no sex in the game. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not mad at this review. The only thing I wish you would have did was, I wish you would have put a little bit more in depth, went a little bit more in depth on who exactly you wanted to have sex with. Because like, it's one thing to be like upset that there's no sex. Like, who do you want to have sex with? If you see this video, if anybody knows that one guy, I would love to know, who do you want to have sex with in the game? Do you want to do one of the bears? Do you want to get tossed around by King? Maybe you want to get fisted by Steve Fox? I would love to know who you want to get fucked by. Regardless, you probably are getting fucked because you only got 8 hours on the game. So when you hop online, people are just fucking you up. So I would just love to know. Let me know if you ever see this video, dude. Holla at me. And that's what the haters of Tekken 8 have to say about the game. If you love Tekken 8 content and you want to watch some more, do me a favor. Click the card right there. That'll take you to my video explaining what your Tekken 8 main says about you. Oh yeah, everybody's getting roasted. Click the card right there.